Chapter 33-24. What happened? With a flick of his palm, the map of the blessed and heavenly lands appeared in his hand. At that moment, the blurry map of the blessed and heavenly lands was glowing with white light. A clear map appeared in the center of the map. It was also an ocean basin, but this basin was not pitch black. Instead, it was emitting white light. As it was shown on the treasure map, Wang Xian did not know the exact situation. What's going on? It was a pitch-black basin, and now there was a basin shrouded in white light? When things reach an extreme, they will move in the opposite direction? Wang Xian's eyes flickered. He looked at the route on the map of the blessed and heavenly lands and flew forward. So many aquatic creatures. After flying for less than 3 minutes, Wang Xian suddenly sensed that there were more dire beasts in the surrounding waters. It could even be described as extremely numerous. Desolate beasts emitted powerful auras as they moved in groups. The weakest was at least a level 4 universe venerable. Wang Xian hesitated for a moment. He did not attack these wild beasts and continued flying forward. There was a white dot on the map of the blessed and heavenly abode, and it was not very far away from him. He had no idea what was going on and was ready to head over to check it out. On the map, the white basin wasn't far from the white spot. Of course, if Wang Xian were to fly, he might need a day or two. Concealing himself, Wang Xian flew towards the spot of white light. He realized that the deeper he went, the more dire beasts there were. This area of the sea seemed to be at the extreme end of the previous location. That place was dead silent, but this place was full of vitality. The seabed was abnormally beautiful. There were all sorts of plants, and there were many universe supremacy-level spirit herbs and spirit trees. Wang Xian even saw an acquired spiritual treasure in the middle of a group of wild beasts. This place was simply a holy land. It should be because of the blessed grotto heaven. Every blessed grotto heaven will attract various powerful factions to fight over it. Naturally, it will attract desolate beasts. He muttered to himself as he dodged one dire beast after another. He walked towards the spot of light. Wang Xian walked all the way to the bright spot on the map and looked down. Beneath him was a stone. The stone looked very ordinary, but on the surface of the stone, there seemed to be a thin layer cut off. The size of this layer was the same as the map of the blessed and heavenly abode in his hand. He raised an eyebrow and placed the map on it. Buzz! At this moment, the surroundings lit up and a teleportation array appeared. Wang Xian squinted his eyes slightly. With the Tai Chi dragon plate around him, he stepped into the teleportation device. Buzz! The next moment, his figure appeared at the edge of a basin that was emitting white light. A warm energy enveloped his body, making him feel very comfortable. This is? He looked ahead with excitement in his eyes. Blessed Enclave. The basin in front of him that was glowing with white light was the Blessed Enclave. Moreover, it was a blessed land that had not been occupied by other forces. Standing at the edge, Wang Xian could sense a strong force of light. This force could clear his mind and boost his recovery rate. At this moment, he seemed to have received a blessing. His entire body was in a very mystical state. In fact, Wang Xian could even sever his own arm. Just by relying on the power of light, he could recover immediately. I haven't even completely entered the Blessed Enclave, yet I already possess such powerful abilities. What about the deeper parts? Wang Xian murmured as his eyes were filled with excitement. He didn't expect his luck to be so good. A treasure map had brought him here directly. This was simply giving him a heavenly abode. Something's not right. There are wild beasts in the basin? At this moment, Wang Xian squinted his eyes and his dragon eyes flickered. Energy was injected into his dragon eyes, and Wang Xian could vaguely see what was going on inside. Within the basin, there were many wild beasts that emitted the power of light. He didn't know how strong these wild beasts were, but they definitely weren't weak. Whoosh! At this moment, Wang Xian sensed movement behind him. He was taken aback and looked over. More than 1,000 figures were flying towards him rapidly. When Wang Xian saw them, his eyes flickered. To think that there were people here. And it was a force. More than 1,000 experts, and the weakest was at least a rank 5 universe supremacy. Experts from the Nine Candles Demon Tribe and another force. Wang Xian thought to himself. One was from the Nine Candles Demon Tribe, and the other was from the human race. However, this human race had a pair of wings of light on their back. They looked a little like the angel race, but they shouldn't be from the angel race. When Wang Xian saw them, the 1,000-odd people who were flying over also noticed him. The 5 experts who were leading the group were clearly taken aback and were filled with astonishment. They fixed their eyes on Wang Xian and sized him up from head to toe. "Which race are you from? How dare you barge into this place?" The expert with a pair of radiant wings looked at Wang Xian with flickering eyes and asked, "Dragon Palace. Which race are you guys from?" Upon hearing the words of the expert with wings of light, Wang Xian didn't hide anything and asked them, "Dragon Palace? You are that Dragon King?" Upon hearing Wang Xian's words, the expert with the wings of radiance was taken aback and asked. Wang Xian didn't reply and looked at them. "We are from the Light Clan, and they are from the Nine Candles Demon Tribe." The leading expert from the Light Clan said plainly. "Light Clan?" Wang Xian was slightly shocked upon hearing his introduction. The Light Clan was a famous force at the edge of the chaotic continent. In terms of strength, they were second only to the Wrapped Corpse tribe in the Shaman country. However, no one knew their exact strength. No one knew how strong the Light Clan was. 2 major races had joined forces. Who were they? Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he looked at them. Among the 1,000 experts, all of them reeked of blood. Clearly they had killed their way here. "Are you guys here for the Grotto Heaven?" Wang Xian asked them. "That's right." The leading expert from the Light Clan answered directly. He looked at Wang Xian warily and asked, "Are you here for the Grotto Heaven too?" Wang Xian didn't hide anything. "Then what do you mean by that? Are you leaving now, Dragon King, or are we leaving first?" The leading expert from the Light Clan squinted his eyes and continued, "Or should we chase away the wild beasts in the Grotto Heaven first? Then we'll decide the winner." The experts from the Light Clan and the Nine Candles Demon Tribe didn't underestimate Wang Xian. To be able to force the Shaman country to such an extent, they had to take the Dragon King seriously. Up to you guys." Wang Xian looked at the 5 people at the front and his eyes flickered. He wasn't afraid of 5 rank 8 universe supremacies. Chapter 3325. A sneak attack from the cursed Manon. In front of the basin shrouded in white light, thousands of experts from the Light Clan and the Nine Candles Demon Tribe stared at Wang Xian. Wang Xian stared back at them. Both parties had a short standoff. Clearly, the Light Clan and the Nine Candles Demon Tribe had been preparing for this Grotto Heaven for a long time. As for this Grotto Heaven, Wang Xian was determined to get it. This Grotto Heaven was much stronger than the Grotto Heaven he had been to in Scorpion Emperor City, Blackwing City, and 5 Insect City. The interior of the basin had a special effect. This place is still occupied by some powerful dire beasts. There's no need for us to fight to the death now. Let's chase the dire beasts away first. A rank 8 universe venerable from the Nine Candles Demon Tribe said plainly. The leading expert from the Light Clan remained silent and did not reject. There were still powerful dire beasts in the Grotto Heaven. Even if they won, it would be useless if they could not chase the dire beasts away. Moreover, the Dragon King could force the Lich Kingdom to such an extent. His strength was definitely not as ordinary as they had imagined. Moreover, he was a purebred divine dragon. Of course I have no objections. Let's kill the dire beasts here first before we fight for it. Upon hearing their words, Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. Whoever was more capable would occupy the Grotto Heaven. The other party did not attack him directly. Moreover, it was hard to tell what would happen next. If there was a rank 9 universe venerable wild beast in there, no one would be able to occupy this place. Moreover, they could join forces to enter the Grotto Heaven. By then, they would be able to figure out the other party's strength. All right, the leading expert from the Light Clan nodded. In that case, let's chase the dire beasts away or kill them first. If your Dragon Palace is much stronger than us, there's no need for us to fight for it. All right. Wang Xian smiled faintly when he heard him. He was quite satisfied with this rule. If he displayed his strength, the other party would withdraw from the fight. Of course, If Wang Xian felt that he could not defeat the other party, he would also withdraw. However, the possibility of that was slim. Everyone, get ready to enter. The leading expert from the Light Clan looked around and said in a deep voice. The experts of the two clans answered immediately as they stared at the place in front of them. It had taken them half a year to rush here from the outside, and they had encountered dozens of wild beasts. Some of the desolate beasts had Universe Level 8 venerables overseeing them. Furthermore, the group of dire beasts that could occupy the center of the Blessed Enclave was definitely very powerful. Wang Xian swept a glance at them before turning his attention back to the basin ahead. He could vaguely sense that there were powerful desolate beasts in the Blessed Land. Go! At the side, the experts of the Light Clan and the Nine Candles Demon Clan charged forward. They formed a battle formation and stared ahead cautiously. Wang Xian moved and flew forward as well. At this time, he naturally couldn't just watch from the back. Just the Dragon King alone. The 8-level supremacies from the Light Clan and the Nine Candles Demon race frowned when they saw Wang Xian. There should be a backup plan. Let's ignore the Dragon King for now. However, we have to be careful in case he suddenly attacks us. The leader of the Light Race experts said in a low voice. What kind of desolate beast is that? At this time, Wang Xian's dragon eyes flickered as he stared ahead. Within the Blessed Land, there were many desolate beasts. These desolate beasts were long and slender, as though they had a pair of sword-like wings. These desolate beasts were lying quietly on the bottom of the sea like a cross. Their bodies were emitting white radiance, and they were motionless. Wang Xian couldn't sense their strength. This is a marine creature. It's not simple. Wang Xian murmured. With a glance, he saw that there were many of these desolate beasts. They weren't huge, only 2 meters in size. At the side, the Light Clan and the Nine Candles Demon race also saw the desolate beasts ahead and were extremely cautious. Let's test the strength of these desolate beasts first. A rank 8 venerable from the Nine Candles Demon race said. He slowly landed on the bottom of the sea and stomped his feet lightly. In an instant, razor-sharp bamboos shot out from the bottom of the sea towards the desolate beasts. When the expert from the Nine Candles Demon race struck, everyone felt as though they were being watched. The razor-sharp bamboos were easily dodged by the desolate beasts. In the next instant, beams of light swords shot towards them. In an instant, more than 1,000 of these desolate beasts launched their attacks. Wang Xian was also engulfed by the attacks. All the attacks are no weaker than a rank 6 universe venerable. Such powerful strength. Wang Xian sensed the attacks and narrowed his eyes. These desolate beasts were very strong. Kill. Without any hesitation, he swung his arm and faced the incoming light swords. Desolate beasts were also a very powerful resource. Kill them all. The experts from the Light Clan and the Nine Candles Demon race immediately ordered loudly when they sensed the attacks of the desolate beasts ahead. Among this group of desolate beasts, there weren't any rank 8 universe venerables. It was probably because they were at the border of the Blessed Land and could be killed as soon as possible. Swish, swish, swish. Seeing the experts charging towards them, the group of desolate beasts didn't roar. Instead, they moved like a beam of light and attacked rapidly. Dragon Eye Lock. Wang Xian saw the group of desolate beasts. Without any hesitation, he attacked them with his chains. Swish, swish, swish. Long chains entangled them and instantly covered more than 100 desolate beasts, entangling their bodies. Against Wang Xian's attack, these desolate beasts couldn't resist at all. However, what shocked Wang Xian the next moment was that the desolate beasts that were entangled by the chains let out horrified cries. Their bodies began to crumble gradually, with only a white glow connecting their bodies. They even gave up on some areas that were completely entangled by the chains. More than 100 desolate beasts dodged Wang Xian's attack. Their crumbling bodies quickly solidified under the white glow, as though they weren't injured at all. Without any hesitation, they retreated. A shrill sound reverberated in the surroundings. What a strange ability! What a strong recovery ability! Wang Xian's expression changed when he saw this. The recovery ability of these desolate beasts was abnormally terrifying. This might have a lot to do with the blessed land. They're escaping. Chase them. The rank 8 universe venerable from the 9 Candles demon race and the Light clan bellowed. They had also encountered the same situation as Wang Xian. Chapter 3326. A sneak attack from the cursed Mainin, don't you dare. Wang Xian's eyes turned cold when he saw the 100-odd dire beasts trying to escape. His body moved, and the unbeginning sacred wings appeared behind him. He attacked them at a terrifying speed. As he waved his palm, a grayish destructive force engulfed them completely. The powerful destructive power instantly caused their vitality to disappear. Wang Xian waved his arm and kept the 100-odd dire beast corpses. Beside them, the 5 9 Candles demon race's 5 level 8 universe supremacies unleashed their full strength and attacked the desolate beasts one after another. GGGG. Ear-piercing sounds reverberated throughout the grotto heaven as the dire beasts let out anxious cries for help. Voila! At this time, a beam of light shone from the center of the grotto heaven. The light enveloped the fleeing dire beasts and increased their speed by 10 times. The experts from the Light race and 9 Candles demon race were shocked when they saw this. Watch out! They yelled. Wang Xian focused his eyes and saw dire beasts that were 3 to 4 meters in size charging towards them. Their bodies were like crosses, but they were extremely sharp. A rank 8 universe supremacy wild beast locked onto Wang Xian and attacked him like a beam of light. There was not only one rank 8 universe supremacy wild beast in front. There were at least 10 of them. The experts from the Light race and 9 Candles demon race were shocked when they saw this. I'll kill one first. Wang Xian did not care about the 2 races. He focused his eyes on the dire beast that was charging towards him, and the 5 elements grindstone appeared in his hand. The dire beast attacked, and they met it head-on. They approached at a terrifying speed. The dire beast was like a cross made of light swords, trying to pierce through Wang Xian's body. However, the Tai Chi dragon circled around Wang Xian. The rank 8 universe supremacy wild beast collided with it and trembled. Wang Xian stretched out his arm and turned it into a dragon claw, grabbing at it. The 5 elements grindstone released a grayish energy that engulfed the dire beast instantly. Wang Xian grabbed it and a powerful force landed on it. The horrifying energy melted its vitality. However, at this moment, Wang Xian felt a terrifying resistance coming from his body. This power resisted the power of annihilation. This is? A universe level 8 venerable shouldn't have such a strong resistance. Is it because of this paradise? Wang Xian murmured. The dragon power from his dragon claw obliterated him instantly. However, at this moment, he saw a flash of light force on his dragon claw, which made him raise his eyebrows slightly. In the next moment, he locked onto a universe venerable level 8 desolate beast and attacked it again. Wang Xian's speed was terrifying. With the 5 elements grindstone in his dragon claws, energy surged into it. An ice sword flew out of the 5 elemental grindstone and instantly pierced through a universe venerable rank 8 desolate beast. With one strike, a universe venerable level 8 desolate beast was directly cut in half. However, something that surprised Wang Xian happened again. His attacks were imbued with powerful destructive energy. The moment it pierced through the desolate beast, the energy surged into the desolate beast's body, destroying its vitality. However, the desolate beast's injuries were not very serious. Its severed body slowly fused back together. Swoosh! Seeing this, Wang Xian flapped his unbeginning saint wings and instantly appeared above the beast. He grabbed it with his dragon claws and completely obliterated it. Be careful! At this moment, the Light Clan's level 7 universe supremacy screamed in horror. His body had been pierced by a desolate beast. But soon, a shocking scene occurred. His pierced wound was rapidly recovering. This blessed grotto heaven has an extremely terrifying regenerative ability. A Light race level 8 universe expert roared. Such powerful regenerative powers were not only beneficial to desolate beasts, but also to them. Seeing this, Wang Xian's eyes flickered. He moved and once again locked onto a Universe Level 8 Venerable Rank 8 Desolate Beast and attacked it. GGGG. That Universe Level 8 Venerable Rank 8 Desolate Beast saw Wang Xian attacking and let out a hurried sound. Immediately, 3 Universe Level 8 Venerable Rank 8 Desolate Beasts stared at Wang Xian with vigilance in their eyes. They moved and attacked Wang Xian in unison. His killing of 2 Universe Level 8 Venerable Rank 8 Desolate Beasts had attracted the attention of the Desolate Beast experts. That Dragon King is so strong. He has already killed 2 Universe Level 8 Venerable Rank 8 Desolate Beasts. At the side, the experts from the Light Clan and the 9 Candles Demon Tribe were shocked when they saw the 4 wild beasts surrounding Wang Xian. Just now, Wang Xian had killed 2 desolate beasts of the same level. His strength had shocked them. No wonder the Lich Kingdom has lowered their heads to the Dragon King. His strength is really terrifying. They thought to themselves. With Wang Xian sharing a large portion of the Universe Level 8 Venerable Rank 8 Desolate Beasts, it was much easier for them to deal with them. Wang Xian's expression did not change in the slightest as he faced the attack of 4 Universe Level 8 Venerable Rank 8 Desolate Beasts. For Desolate Beasts, he could deal with them and even kill them. However, as this was within the paradise, the recovery rate of injuries was extremely terrifying. This battle would probably last for a very long time. Is the effect of this paradise really so terrifying? At the same time, a group of over 400 people walked over from behind Wang Xian. They were flying around unscrupulously. When the surrounding desolate beasts saw them, they immediately avoided them. Over 400 people. Half of them had dark tattoos all over their bodies. The other half of them were in an encirclement formation. The cursed people were weak. However, some desolate beasts would also avoid them as they were afraid of the power of the curse on them. In the middle, there were over 200 mechas. There were also 2 cursed elders beside the leading dark gold mecha. That's for sure. How can a paradise that corresponds to the cursed pool be weak? An old man with a walking stick said plainly. Hee, all right then. Let's work together to take down this place. However, you said that the Light Race and 9 Candles Race have already entered. When the time comes, the 9 Candles Race and Light Race's Rank 8 Cosmos experts will be handed over to you. The Dark Gold Mecha said in a robotic voice. That's not a problem. With your mecha, it'll be easy for us to kill them. The cursed old man said plainly. There's a battle ahead. Get ready. The Dark Gold Mecha stared ahead. As the data entered its mind, it ordered. Get ready. The 2 cursed elders scanned their surroundings. The group of cursed people clenched their fists as the mecha covered their bodies. Chapter 33:27. Rumble, Rumble, Rumble. These wild beasts are really hard to kill in this grotto heaven. Within the grotto heaven, Wang Xian attacked the 4 Rank 8 Universe Venerable Realm wild beasts. 1 against 4, Wang Xian was not at a disadvantage. In fact, he had the upper hand, completely suppressing the 4 wild beasts. However, these wild beasts were too hard to kill. Wang Xian's attacks tore their bodies apart, but they could recover quickly. Due to the enhancement of the grotto heaven, their vitality was abnormally terrifying. On the other hand, as the wild beasts could not break through Wang Xian's defense, the strong recovery ability of the grotto heaven was of no use to him. I'm afraid it will take a long time to kill these 4 wild beasts, Wang Xian murmured. At the side, the experts from the Light Clan and the 9 Candle Demon Race were fighting the wild beasts. They were in a stalemate. When they injured the wild beasts, they could recover quickly. When the wild beasts injured them, they could recover quickly. Overall, with 1 more Rank 8 Universe Venerable on their side, the 2 races still had the upper hand. As long as I can get this grotto heaven, everything will be worth it. Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he continued to fight, slowly whittling away the vitality of the wild beasts. At this moment, he sensed someone flying towards him from behind. Wang Xian took a glance and saw mechas flying towards him. Each mecha exuded a powerful aura. Are they the people that Ancestor Guang and the 9 Candle Demon Race called over? He raised an eyebrow and his eyes flickered. Buzz, buzz, buzz. However, something that surprised Wang Xian happened. Two mechas flew towards him and shot out beams of laser beams. The attack power of the laser beams was not strong, only around the rank 5 universe venerable level. Sneak attack? Who are they? What are they doing? Wang Xian was stunned as he completely ignored the laser beams that were flying towards him. The Tai Chi Dragon Plate easily blocked the laser beams that landed on his body. At the side, the mechas also attacked the experts from the Light Clan and the 9-Candle Demon race. Laser beams shrouded the 5 rank 8 universe venerables from the 2 races. Courting death. The experts of the Light Clan and the 9 Candles Demon race were enraged by the sudden ambush. 3 of them waved their arms, and a terrifying attack engulfed the mechs. Boom. In the next moment, a series of attacks landed on the mecha. Boom boom boom. More than a dozen mechas instantly exploded into pieces. Be careful, there's something courting death coming. A few level 8 universe venerables from the Light race and 9 Candles Demon race ordered their subordinates coldly. Ah! However, at this moment, cries of agony came from the 3 rank 8 venerables who had retaliated just now. They covered their faces in horror as black tattoos appeared on their bodies. The densely packed black tattoos entered their bodies. In an instant, the 3 of them looked extremely ferocious. Their flesh and blood began to fall, and their life force rapidly flowed away. Even though they were in the Blessed Enclave, which possessed powerful recovery abilities, they were still unable to recover. The terrifying black tattoos entered their bodies completely, and the 3 rank 8 universe venerables collapsed at the bottom of the sea. Father! Father! An old man from the Light Clan stared at the corpses at the bottom of the sea as he screamed in horror and sorrow. Ah, my body, my body! But suddenly he stared at his own body in horror. On his arm, a slightly illusory black tattoo had appeared. These black tattoos also surged into his body. Oh no, that's a curse, a curse! The people in the mecha that 3rd elder and the rest killed were cursed people. One of the 9 Candles monstrous race's 8th order universe venerable shouted as his expression changed drastically. Once the cursed people killed the other party, they would suffer the revenge of the curse. This curse was so terrifying that even the universe rulers had to be wary of it. The people in the mecha just now were cursed people. Wang Xian's expression changed when he heard what the 9 Candles Demon race said. He didn't dare to touch such a strange thing. He, who was about to destroy the 2 mechas in front of him, stopped immediately as his eyes flickered. Swish swish. However, he didn't retaliate. The 2 mechas charged at him fearlessly, and beams of lasers landed on his body. Although the Tai Chi Dragon Plate could block the laser beams, the scene before him still pissed him off. Swish swish swish. At this moment, a few hundred mechas flew towards them from behind. More than 400 mechas bombarded them. Wang Xian frowned when he saw this. Swish swish swish. More than a dozen mechas attacked Wang Xian, and a series of terrifying attacks engulfed him. One of the attacks was comparable to a rank 8 universe venerables. Rank 8 universe venerables? Wang Xian's expression changed. In the universe, the pinnacle of technology hadn't reached the level of the universe rulers. However, it had reached the pinnacle of the universe supremacy. Even so, there were very few technologically advanced races in the chaotic continent. As a result, rank 8 universe venerables were exceptionally rare. But now, a universe venerable level 8 mecha had appeared and was attacking them. Wang Xian moved and dodged the attack of the mecha. His expression changed slightly, but he still didn't retaliate. This was because he was afraid that the one piloting the mecha was a cursed person. If he killed the other party, he would have to pay a hefty price, or even die. Aggrieved, Wang Xian moved and dodged to the side. He didn't want to fight with the wild beast. GGGG. When the wild beasts saw Wang Xian leaving, they locked onto the mechas in the air and got ready to attack. Kakaka. But at this moment, more than a dozen mechas flew over. One by one, the mechas fell off, revealing the cursed people inside. When the wild beasts saw them, their eyes were filled with fear. They didn't want to provoke them and let out a few low growls. For you, the cursed spirit village has always been on good terms with the 9 Candles demon tribe. Why did you attack us? One of the experts from the Nine Candles demon tribe questioned with a bitter expression. Good terms? We are working together, but you don't even give us 10% of the profits. Is this considered good terms? Get out now. This blessed land belongs to the cursed spirit village. A cold voice came from one of the mechas. It's really the cursed spirit village. Where did you get so many powerful mechas? Hearing his words, the people from the Nine Candles demon tribe looked terrible. Chapter 33:28. You don't need to know. Kill them. The people from the cursed spirit village did not care about the Nine Candles demon tribe. One of the mechas roared and attacked them. Among these 400 over mechas, there were a total of 4 universe venerables at level 8. This power, if placed at the edge of the great desolate continent, would definitely be an extremely powerful and terrifying existence. The other mechas also attacked the Light Race and the Nine Candles demon tribe. Die. In front of Wang Xian, the rank 8 universe venerable mecha attacked him again. What a creepy thing. Wang Xian could not help but curse. He was confident that he could kill this mecha instantly. However, there might be a cursed person inside, so he didn't dare to destroy it. This caused him to feel slightly annoyed and aggrieved. Oh no, retreat. The Light Race and the Nine Candles demon tribe were even more passive against the cursed spirit village's mechas. As long as they fought back and killed them, they would be attacked by the cursed people. However, if they did not fight back, the mechas were still terrifying. They could even kill rank 8 universe supremacies. Under such circumstances, the Light Race and the Nine Candles demon tribe could not fight back at all. They could only run and get away. Especially now, 3 out of the 5 rank 8 universe supremacies had been killed. This was a huge loss for the Light Race and the Nine Candles demon tribe. The rank 8 universe supremacies of the 2 races tried their best to resist. The rest of the members immediately disappeared and returned to their own holy kingdoms. Fortunately, they were in the Grotto Heaven and had strong recovery abilities. The Grotto Heaven and Grotto Heaven had no effect on the mechas. Let's go. When the last 2 8th Order Universe Venerables saw their subordinates leave, their figures flashed and instantly disappeared. Who is that guy? Why does he have the strength of a rank 8 Universe Supremacy? They are not with the Light Race and the Nine Candles demon tribe. The mecha in front of Wang Xian asked in a mechanical voice after the Light Race and the Nine Candles demon tribe had left. I don't know. Kill him. Over 100 mechas attacked Wang Xian immediately. Wang Xian frowned slightly. He flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and flew to the side. Given his speed, the mechas could not catch up to him. This group of people is really disgusting. The cursed people are using technological means to explode with great strength. Moreover, there are death warriors among them. This is going to be a bit troublesome. Wang Xian shook off the group of mechas and his expression was a little ugly. He had just witnessed how strong the curse was. 3 rank 8 universe supremacies could not resist it at all. They were only a dozen or so people who had been cursed, and they had even implicated their descendants. Strange and terrifying. Moreover, they were quite compatible with that technology. Creating death warriors was simply exchanging the weak for the strong. For many races, this was a huge profit. Let's take a look around. Wang Xian wasn't willing to give up on the Grotto Heaven and Blessed Land. With a swift move, he circled the Grotto Heaven and Blessed Land. The surface area of the entire Blessed Paradise wasn't all that big. However, at this moment, the cursed beings were flying around without a care in the world. None of the desolate beasts dared to attack them. They seemed to be investigating the situation and preparing to occupy that place. These cursed people are so weak. How did they get such powerful mechas? Which force is behind this? Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he thought of the publicly acknowledged strongest force at the edge of the chaotic continent. The Iron and Steel Union. If the Lich Nation was to be ranked in the top 3, it would definitely not be number 1. That was because the number 1 was the Iron and Steel Union. This was a technological force, and also the strongest technological force in the chaotic continent. In the entire universe, the Iron and Steel Union's technological forces could be ranked in the top 3. One could imagine their strength. The people from the cursed spirit village might have gotten their mechas from the Iron and Steel Union. Of course, it could also be other technological races. If I want to compete for this grotto heaven and blessed land, I have to master a way, and that is to resist the power of the curse. Wang Xian thought to himself. The power of this curse was very strong, and it involved special karma forces and bloodline powers. Wang Xian moved and immediately flew to the back. He wanted to take a look at the Pond of Curses. Wang Xian was very fast. 2 days later, he arrived at the pitch-black and Dead Sea region. When he flew to the center, a strange energy rushed over. At this moment, there was no one around the Pond of Curses. This place was not a treasure trove, and people would want to avoid it. Therefore, no one came over. Wang Xian approached the strange basin, and the closer he got, the more he could feel a strange energy eroding towards him. This strange energy was trying to enter Wang Xian's body. The source of this energy is still darkness, but it's a variant of darkness. Wang Xian resisted the energy and walked to the edge of the basin. Standing here was the limit of his physical resistance. Once he entered the basin, he would probably be attacked by horrifying forces. Can the heart of light and darkness that I have resist this curse? Can the progenitor tree resist this curse? The heart of light and darkness and the progenitor tree were Wang Xian's trump cards to resist this strange curse. The darkness of the heart of light and darkness was the source of darkness. He could give it a try. As he pondered, he moved his body and the Tai Chi dragon plate gradually appeared around him. The dark part of the Tai Chi dragon plate gradually turned into a black dragon and flew towards the basin. The moment the black dragon entered the basin, it was attacked by a horrifying force. Waves of strange dark energy surged into the black dragon's body. At this moment, Wang Xian could feel the Tai Chi dragon plate collapsing. Roar. At the side, the light divine dragon roared and flew to the side of the black dragon. Tai Chi revolved and immediately fled towards Wang Xian. It couldn't be resisted. The Tai Chi dragon plate couldn't withstand this strange attack. In fact, it would be damaged if it lingered for a few more seconds. The Tai Chi dragon plate can withstand the attack of a level 9 universe supremacy. Wang Xian couldn't help but sigh in his heart as his expression changed. This strange power of darkness seems to have a soul. He mumbled and hesitated for a moment. With a move of his palm, a grayish branch appeared in his hand. Soul returning wood. The soul returning wood could absorb souls. Of course, it could only absorb the souls of members of the Dragon Palace. This dark energy could invade everything. What if he put the soul returning wood in? Would the branch of the soul returning wood be destroyed? Wang Xian felt that the possibility was slim. After all, the mother of the soul returning wood was the progenitor tree. He didn't think a Pond of Curse could go against a Heaven Yuan creation treasure. I wonder what will happen. He mumbled and put the soul returning wood into the Pond of Curse. Chapter 3329 Cursed Dragon. Down Wang Wang Wang. When the soul returning wood entered the Pond of Curse, waves of curse energy surged towards the soul returning wood. The curse energy was trying to destroy the soul returning wood completely. Wang Xian stared at the branches of the soul returning wood with glistening eyes. Wang Wang Wang. When the soul returning wood was attacked, it emitted a grayish energy. The soul returning wood was originally a treasure of the universe lord level. It was extremely powerful. Moreover, it had the progenitor tree as its backer. The Pond of Curses was indeed strange. Even a universe ruler might die if he entered. The soul returning wood, which had just stepped into the periphery, was wrapped in grayish energy. Against the invasion of the curse, it was not damaged at all. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly and watched quietly. Time passed slowly. The soul returning wood was not damaged at all, but there were no changes. This made Wang Xian frown slightly. He hesitated for a moment before putting half of his arm into the Pond of Curse as well. When his arm entered, the curse energy surged towards Wang Xian's body immediately. With a thought, the heart of light and darkness in his body revolved. The dark energy blocked his arm to prevent the curse from entering his body. It's working. When the energy of the heart of light and darkness blocked his arm, the strange curse energy was blocked. Although it was blocked, Wang Xian's arm was rapidly invaded by the strange curse energy. He saw black tattoos appearing on his arm. The dark tattoos covered his arm densely and looked exactly like the arms of the cursed person. Wang Xian sensed his arm. His arm was invaded by the curse energy. Although he could move, he felt the energy was blocked and his attack power was greatly reduced. He extended his arm and it was completely covered by the strange dark tattoos as though they had merged into one. After leaving the range of the pond of curse, Wang Xian looked at his arm and had a thought. The energy of the heart of light and darkness was expelled towards the strange dark tattoos. Wang Xian could feel his arm trembling as the power of the curse was being expelled. However, this expulsion did not dissipate immediately. Instead, it surged towards his palm. The dark tattoo on his palm surged toward the soul-returning wood on his arm. The power of the soul-returning wood was very strong. The moment it reached the tip of the soul-returning wood, it stopped. Therefore, the dark tattoos could only gather together and form a sphere. The ball was inserted into the soul-returning wood. Wang Xian was stunned when he saw this. At this moment, he could feel a peculiar energy within the ball being worn away. It was as though it had become one with the soul-returning wood. No, it was exactly the same as the soul-returning fetus fruit. However, this soul-returning fetus fruit was unique in that it did not have a soul. Wang Xian looked at this creepy fruit and his eyes flickered. What if the members of the Dragon Palace devoured it? Wang Xian's eyes flickered as he thought of the millions of people who entered the pond of curse not long ago. In the end, only a few dozen of them survived. Would he be able to become a cursed creature if he devoured it? With a thought, Wang Xian immediately informed Enlai to draw an altar and get him to bring a member of the Dragon Palace over. Dragon King. Soon, Enlai brought a member who had just joined the Dragon Palace. Swallow this. Wang Xian instructed as he looked at him. This new member of the Dragon Palace had evolved into a berserk dragon species. Yes, Dragon King. The member of the Dragon Palace nodded his head and swallowed it immediately. As soon as he swallowed the dark sphere, his body immediately began to change. The dark tattoo slowly appeared on his body and quickly spread across his entire body. He looked down and frowned slightly as he could not feel any pain. Dragon King, I feel that my strength is declining rapidly. My control over my attributes is also declining. Soon, his expression changed as he spoke immediately. I'm fine. Wang Xian shook his head. A few minutes later, the member of the Dragon Palace before him had completely turned into a cursed existence. How do you feel? Wang Xian asked him. Dragon King, my strength has declined. In the past, I could fight 3 levels higher than me. Now, I can only fight 1 level higher. Besides, I feel that there's a peculiar energy in my body. He said to Wang Xian with widened eyes. Great. I'll bring you to test it out. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he flew out with the member of the Dragon Palace. A day later, he flew out of this desolate land and found a level 5 universe venerable realm wild beast. The member of the Dragon Palace who had evolved into a cursed level 1 universe venerable realm. As he could only fight 1 level higher than him, his bloodline was similar to some middle-level races in the universe. Go, attack this wild beast and let it kill you. After that, I'll resurrect you. Wang Xian instructed him immediately. Yes, Dragon King. The member of the Dragon Palace did not hesitate as he attacked the wild beast. Boom. Without any hesitation, he launched an attack. Seeing someone attacking him, the wild beast was enraged as wind blades circled around its body. However, when it saw the face of the member of the Dragon Palace, it revealed a fearful look. It immediately retracted its hand and did not dare to attack. However, the member of the Dragon Palace flashed and came to the side of the wild beast. The wind blades around him killed it instantly. When the wild beast saw this, it jumped in fright and was extremely terrified. In less than a minute, it let out a blood-curdling scream that was filled with fear and despair. The curse wrapped around its body and it died slowly. Wang Xian flew over and watched the wild beast die. He took out the soul-returning wood. The soul of the member of the Dragon Palace flew over and gradually condensed into a soul-returning fetus fruit. In the past, the soul-returning fetus fruits were all gray in color. But now, the soul-returning fetus fruit was a little black. What a powerful curse! Even if he resurrects after death, he can't get rid of the curse. No wonder this curse can curse people with similar bloodlines. Wang Xian murmured as his eyes sparkled. After the member of the Dragon Palace was resurrected, he could be considered a new species of dragon. Let's call him the Cursed Dragon, he murmured. Although the Cursed Dragon could only fight one level higher than him, the level of creepiness made even Wang Xian feel disgusted. The universe dominators avoided this cursed creature as they did not want to get involved with this disgusting thing. If there was a cursed dragon in the Dragon Palace, it would indeed be quite frightening, not to mention anything else. If the Dragon Palace killed it, he would be finished. Most importantly, a Universe Venerable Level 1 Cursed Dragon could possibly replace a Pinnacle Universe Venerable enemy. This was a huge win. Chapter 33:30, You Dare to Kill Us? However, although the Dragon Palace can give birth to a cursed dragon, and if the cursed dragon kills the cursed person, it won't be cursed. However, the opponent still has that powerful mech. This is still a problem. The best way is to be able to resist this strange curse myself. Wang Xian murmured. Although the heart of light and darkness could expel the curse from his body, it would take some time. If he directly entered the pond of curse, the curse would instantly erupt. Even if he didn't die, he would be severely injured. If he directly killed hundreds of cursed people, it would be very troublesome. Let's continue experimenting. As Wang Xian spoke, he moved and returned to the front of the pond of curse. Using the same method, he condensed another cursed soul-returning fetus. He looked at the soul-returning fetus fruit and sized it up. Should I let the clone on the Tai Chi Dragon plate give it a try? Wang Xian's mind raced. Right now, the Tai Chi Dragon plate was controlled by his dark and light doppelgangers. What would happen if the dark doppelgangers swallowed the fruit? We can give it a try. If it doesn't work, the heart of light and darkness can expel it. Wang Xian contemplated for a moment. The Tai Chi Dragon plate was created by him using his light and dark doppelgangers. Now, the doppelgangers had already turned into souls and no longer had a physical body. In a situation where there was no physical body, after being cursed, perhaps the circulation of energy would not be blocked, and the strength of the clone would not be reduced. Moreover, he had the heart of light and darkness to suppress it, so there shouldn't be too much of a problem. As long as he succeeded, he would have the confidence to resist the power of the curse. After thinking about it, he began to experiment. He summoned the Tai Chi Dragon plate. The Tai Chi Dragon plate could devour light and darkness treasures, so it could naturally absorb this sphere as well. Buzz. After absorbing it, the Tai Chi Dragon plate did not change much. But soon, Wang Xian realized that the black part of the Tai Chi Dragon plate was even darker. Moreover, there was something strange about it. You succeeded? Wang Xian raised an eyebrow. With a shift of his body, the Tai Chi Dragon plate enveloped him completely. He moved and reached into the pond of curse in front of him. Buzz. The curse energy from his clothes invaded him. As the Tai Chi Dragon plate spun, not only did the curse energy not enter Wang Xian's body, but it was also absorbed by the Tai Chi Dragon plate. His eyes were filled with joy. With a slight movement, he entered the pond of curse. Success. Under the protection of the Tai Chi Dragon plate, Xiao Chen's body was not attacked at all. Moreover, based on Wang Xian's senses, the Tai Chi Dragon board should have undergone some special changes, which had yet to be discovered. Now I can fight against those cursed people. Wang Xian's eyes gleamed coldly. That group of fellows attacked him unscrupulously. Now he could slaughter them all. Wang Xian made a move and immediately flew towards the grotto heaven and blessed land. After flying for 2 days, Wang Xian arrived at the front of the grotto heaven again. Woo woo woo. Just as he stepped into the beautiful seabed that was filled with life, he suddenly saw desolate beasts fleeing in the opposite direction. Wang Xian frowned when he saw the wild beasts fleeing in all directions. Have they already begun to banish the desolate beasts here? Wang Xian's eyes flickered. At this moment, a ferocious-looking marine creature was fleeing in his direction. When it saw Wang Xian in front of it, it let out a loud roar. Wang Xian looked over. In this region, the desolate beasts were not weak. The desolate beast in front of him had the strength of a rank 6 universe venerable. This was not weak. With a thought, Wang Xian stood still while the Tai Chi dragon board floated around him. The ferocious-looking beast had long claws and clawed at Wang Xian. However, when the claws landed on the Tai Chi dragon board, it did not budge. At this moment, Wang Xian felt a rebounding force coming from the Tai Chi dragon board. This rebounding force was twice as strong as the attack of the desolate beast. The expression of the desolate beast changed drastically. A black scar appeared on its body as it fled in horror. Wang Xian swung his arm and killed it. It has an additional ability to reflect the opponent's attack? Is this the cause of the curse? Wang Xian looked at the Tai Chi dragon board in surprise. This is pretty impressive. The attack of the desolate beast was reflected back to it at least twice as strong. Let's go and take a look. Wang Xian moved and arrived at the teleportation point on the Grotto Heaven map. He disappeared through the teleportation formation. When he reappeared, he was already in front of the basin of the Grotto Heaven and Paradise. He looked around and immediately fixed his eyes in front of him. Someone's there. It's not that mecha. Wang Xian looked to his right and immediately concealed himself. He approached that direction carefully. Curse Spirit Village, are you guys courting death? You killed the experts of our 9 Candles Demon Tribe and destroyed the teleportation formation between our 9 Candles Demon Tribe and Cursed Spirit Village. Do you really think we can't do anything to you? A voice sounded in Wang Xian's ears. He looked over and his eyes flickered. In front of him were the experts of the 9 Candles Demon Tribe and the Light Clan. There were only 9 experts. However, all 9 of them were rank 8 Universe Venerables. In front of them were a group of cursed people. Among them was a familiar figure to Wang Xian. It was the old lady from the Cursed Spirit Village. Wang Xian had seen this old lady when he was teleported over. Just like the last time he saw her, her face was filled with indifference and disdain. It was a look that showed that he did not put any experts in his eyes. The group of cursed people like them indeed had the right to do so. So what if you killed us? Do you want revenge? Do you dare? It was the old lady who spoke. She stared coldly at the experts of the Light Clan and the 9 Candles Demon Tribe. Cursed Spirit Village, we were the ones who found this Grotto Heaven. If you want to occupy this place, you should consider the consequences. Do you really think we can't do anything to you cursed people? An expert from the Light Clan stared at them with murderous intent. This Grotto Heaven will be the territory of the Cursed Spirit Village from now on. If you dare to enter, you can give it a try. An old man from the Cursed Spirit Village said coldly. Are you relying on the Iron and Steel Union? The expert in the middle of the 9 Candles Demon Tribe asked with a sullen face. We, the Cursed Spirit Village, do not rely on anyone. We are merely cooperating with them. The old lady said emotionlessly. She glanced at the 9 of them and said, get out of the territory of the Cursed Spirit Village immediately. Otherwise, don't blame us for being rude in the future. You, the expert from the 9 Candles Demon Tribe, was enraged. What? Do you have the guts to kill us? Otherwise, get lost. This Grotto Heaven belongs to the Cursed Spirit Village. An old man sneered. Chapter 33-31. Kill on top. In front of the Grotto Heaven, the 8 rank 9 supremacies from the Light Clan and the 9 Candles Demon race glared at the people from the Cursed Spirit Village. Their expressions were extremely awkward. The 2 races had paid a huge price for this blessed Grotto Heaven. From the moment they found this Grotto Heaven to the moment they charged in from the surrounding wild beasts, they had lost hundreds of supremacies and used up a lot of treasures. But now, it was occupied by the Cursed Spirit Village that they had always looked down on. This made their faces darken. The people from the Cursed Spirit Village lifted their heads slightly and looked at them with disdain and contempt. They had nothing to fear now. With a group of mechas, they would attack anyone who dared to compete with them. Once they killed them, the other party would not be able to live. The curse that they hated in the past had now become their trump card. At the back, Wang Xian saw this scene and squinted his eyes. With a swift movement, he no longer concealed himself and flew over. Ha! Wang Xian's appearance attracted the experts from the Light Clan and the Nine Candles demon race. They looked over with flickering eyes. Dragon King! An expert from the Nine Candles demon race shouted. Wang Xian nodded at them. He did not have much dislike for the Light Clan and the Nine Candles demon race. Although they were competitors, it was considered a fair competition. Whoever was more powerful would occupy this place. If the Dragon Palace was more powerful, the Light Clan and the Nine Candles demon race would not compete with them. Similarly, Wang Xian's side was the same. Perhaps the other party did not have much of an opinion on who occupied the place. However, they had a strong opinion on the cursed spirit village. Especially when the other party attacked them with mechas at the beginning. 3 rank 8 supremacies from the Light Clan and the Nine Candles demon race were killed because of that. This was a huge feud for the Light Clan and the Nine Candles demon race. Wang Xian was disgusted by them as well. Cursed Spirit Village, you bunch of cursed people want to occupy this place. You will pay the price in the future. Our 3 races will find a way to annihilate you. An expert from the Light Clan looked at Wang Xian and said with a sullen face. Haha, you want us to pay the price? You dogs, I don't care if you have 2 or 3 races. If you have the guts, I'll come and destroy you. If you don't have the guts, then scram. Don't disturb us here. At the back, a middle-aged man with a cursed spirit cursed loudly. That's right. What's the point of just standing here? All of you are peak experts of the great desolate continent. If you have the guts, come and kill us. Scram if you don't dare, you bunch of trash. As soon as the middle-aged man finished speaking, the young man beside him also scolded mockingly. They stared at Wang Xian and the group of experts in front of them with ferocious and excited faces. Scolding the experts of the 3 major races was simply too satisfying, especially since the other party didn't dare to attack them. Hee. Upon hearing their words, Wang Xian's eyes turned cold. He sneered, "Do you really think I can't do anything to you? The Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, right? I know you, but we don't care if you are the Dragon King or whatever. Don't shoot your mouth off here. Fight if you have the guts, idiot." A young man stared at Wang Xian, lifted his head slightly and spoke with disdain. Damn it. Upon hearing their insults, the 9 experts from the Light Clan and Nine Candles demon tribe were embarrassed. They were all peak experts of the great desolate continent and had never met anyone who dared to humiliate them like this. However, there was nothing they could do in the face of such humiliation. However, as soon as the young man finished his words, Wang Xian moved. In a flash, he came to the side of the young man. When the young man saw Wang Xian appearing in front of him, he was taken aback and broke out in cold sweat. What's wrong? You're flustered and exasperated. Come at me if you have the guts, trash. However, in the next moment, the young man pointed at Wang Xian and sneered. The people of the Cursed Spirit Village looked at the scene coldly. Dragon King, don't be rash. Behind, the experts from the Light Clan and Nine Candles demon tribe were shocked and immediately reminded Wang Xian. Bam! Wang Xian looked at the young man who was staring at him with disdain. With a smile, Wang Xian extended his arm and grabbed the young man's neck. Kill me if you have the guts. The young man's face turned red instantly as he stared at Wang Xian with hatred. Dragon King, I advise you not to offend our Cursed Spirit Village. Our Cursed Spirit Village isn't afraid of you. If you don't want endless troubles in the future, you'd better scram now. The old lady at the side stared at Wang Xian and said coldly. Even though Wang Xian was just inches away from them, they weren't fearful at all. Oh! Wang Xian smiled. At this moment, the young man who was grabbing Wang Xian's neck let out a miserable scream. Layers of flames appeared on his body and burned his body bit by bit. The dark tattoos gave off a creepy glow and surged towards Wang Xian. What? Behind, the experts from the Nine Candles demon tribe and Light Clan were shocked when they saw Wang Xian attacking the people of the Cursed Spirit Village. Was this a mutual destruction? However, when the curses spread to Wang Xian, the Tai Chi dragon plate around him began to spin. The power of the curses surged towards the Tai Chi dragon plate and was absorbed bit by bit. Arg! The young man continued to scream as the flames released by Wang Xian burned his body bit by bit. A first-order god emperor dared to scold him? How dare he be so arrogant in front of me? Relying on the curse? What? At this moment, the people from the Curse Spirit Village were shocked to see Wang Xian torturing their fellow villagers bit by bit. When they saw that Wang Xian wasn't affected by the curse, their expressions changed drastically. Why isn't the Dragon King affected by the power of the curse? The experts from the Light Clan and Nine Candles Demon Tribe narrowed their eyes when they saw this. Torturing a cursed person in such a manner would definitely cause him to be attacked by the power of the curse. However, the Dragon King didn't seem to be affected at all. Come on, continue your scolding. Wang Xian looked at the young man in front of him and sneered. Clatter. As he spoke, chains spread out in all directions, trapping the hundreds of people from the Cursed Spirit Village. Today, I'm going to slaughter all of you bit by bit. I want to see if the power of the curse has any effect on me. I'm also curious to see if you will still be as arrogant as you were just now. Wang Xian said emotionlessly with a faint smile on his face. The flames spread to the rest of the experts from the Cursed Spirit Village. Chapter 33-32. Kill below Arg. How can this be? Why aren't you attacked by the curse? When the flames engulfed everyone in the Cursed Spirit Village and they felt excruciating pain, the villagers panicked. They stared at Wang Xian in horror and shouted in disbelief. The other party had attacked them and the curse had already retaliated. Why was nothing happening to the other party? Their curses seemed to be useless against the other party. Curse? Do you really think you are invincible just because of the curse? Wang Xian stared at them and sneered. Now, enjoy the torture of the Sea of Fire. He smirked as the flames engulfed them bit by bit. Miserable screams came out from their mouths. Hundreds of people from Curse Village were screaming in fear. At this moment, they were filled with despair. Wang Xian stood there quietly as he felt the attack from the curse. To his satisfaction, the Tai Chi dragon plate had blocked all the curse power. This brought a smile to his face. That Dragon King blocked the attack from the curse. How did he do it? I don't know. It should be the defensive treasure around him. Impressive. Good. Good kill. Let them die in pain and despair. The experts from the Light Clan and the Nine Candles Demon Tribe were shocked and bewildered when they saw this. But what they all had in common was that their faces were filled with excitement. They had long been furious at the damned Cursed Spirit Village villagers. Now that Wang Xian had killed them, they could finally vent their anger. The blood-curdling screams rang out incessantly for a full half an hour. Wang Xian stood there and watched quietly. This was the first time he had killed someone so slowly. As they died one by one, Wang Xian saw a flash of white light on a few of their corpses. His eyes sparkled as he looked at the white light. This white light was somewhat familiar. The last time he killed a Universe Supremacy Rank 8 Desolate Beast, a white light flashed across the Desolate Beast's body. Apart from that, when he killed the middle-aged man from the Deep Swamp race, there was a flash of earthy yellow light after his death. This meant that the other party might not be completely dead yet. Instead, he had used the treasures to allow his soul to escape. Could it be? He had some conjectures in his mind, and his eyes sparkled. So. Not long after the white light disappeared, many mechas flew over from the depths of the Blessed Enclave. In the middle, the three mechas unleashed horrifying attacks towards Wang Xian. Wang Xian looked at the mech with a cold gaze. Last time, he didn't attack because he was afraid of the power of the curse. But this time, he didn't have the slightest scruple. Buzz. Wang Xian made a move. The unbeginning sacred wings appeared behind him with the Tai Chi dragon coil spinning. His palms morphed into dragon claws as he struck out at the 100-odd mechas. Kill him. The 3 level 8 Universe Supremacy mechas in the middle roared with hatred. Beams of horrifying light shrouded Wang Xian. In the face of such a terrifying attack, Wang Xian did not dodge. Instead, he faced it head-on. Rumble. When the 3 terrifying attacks landed on Wang Xian, the Tai Chi Dragon Plate instantly blocked the attacks of the mecha. On the Tai Chi Dragon Plate, the black part of the plate gave off a strange glow. A black recoil force shot towards the three mechas. Dodge. The three mechas instantly calculated the strength and speed of the recoil force and dodged to the side. Boom, 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 boom. At this time, hundreds of mechas surrounded the three mechas and attacked Wang Xian. Oh no, the Dragon King is alone, but there are 3 level 8 universe supremacies among the group of mechas. The experts from the Light Clan and 9 Candles Demon Tribe said in a deep voice as they looked at the group of mechas. However, they didn't dare to go over to help. If they did, they would be the ones dying. I'll kill all of you today. Wang Xian's eyes were filled with coldness. With the defense of the Tai Chi Dragon Coil, he had no scruples at all. Facing the enveloping energy, he flapped his unbeginning sacred wings and attacked one of the level 8 universe supremacy mechas. Rumble. He pushed his speed to the limit. That level 8 universe supremacy mecha couldn't dodge at all. Wang Xian dashed over and landed his dragon claws on it. The immense force caused the mecha to tremble. What a strong defense! Wang Xian squinted his eyes and the 5 elements grind appeared above him. Bam bam bam. The 5 elements grind collided with the mecha and all kinds of energy crushed it. Ka. The mecha began to crack and crumble. Wang Xian moved, turned around instantly, and attacked the other mech. Oh no, we calculated that the opponent's defense is strong. Our mechas can't break through it. Retreat, retreat. One of the mechas calculated Wang Xian's terrifying defense and shouted in anger. Can you escape? Wang Xian locked his eyes on the mechas with murderous intent. Level 8 universe supremacy mechas were different from other living beings. If they wanted to escape, they could only rely on flying. They couldn't return to their holy kingdom directly. Wang Xian relied on his speed and dashed to the front of another level 8 universe supremacy mecha. Divine Dragon Shadow, break it? A huge shadow of a divine dragon charged towards the mech in front of him. At the same time, Wang Xian grabbed the mecha with his dragon claws to prevent it from escaping. No matter how the mecha attacked, he didn't move an inch. On the contrary, the counterattack from the Tai Chi Dragon Disc caused the mecha to crumble faster and faster. Ka. Boom. Soon, the second level 8 universe supremacy mecha was destroyed. This Dragon King's strength is terrifying. His speed is terrifying, and his defense is terrifying. He's too strong. Isn't his strength close to a level 9 universe supremacy? The 9 experts from the Light Clan and 9 Candles Demon Tribe were shocked when they saw Wang Xian's ferocious attack. If they were in Wang Xian's shoes, they could only escape when 3 mechas of the same level attacked at the same time. However, the Dragon King had destroyed 2 of them in just a few seconds. The speed and defense that he had displayed had them in awe. They couldn't help but suspect that it would be difficult to defeat the Dragon King even if the 9 of them joined forces. No wonder the Shaman Kingdom would lower their heads. He's too strong, they exclaimed in their hearts. He wasn't afraid of the power of curse and could unleash such terrifying strength. Such an enemy was too terrifying. Chapter 33:33. Run. He's strong. Let's run. Retreat. Retreat now. Within the Blessed Land, the mechas controlled by the Cursed Spirit Village screamed in panic. The Cursed Spirit Village wasn't weak at all. 3 rank 8 universe supremacy mechas, in addition to their eerie power of curse. With their strength, they were considered relatively powerful existences at the edge of the great desolate continent. However, Wang Xian was stronger and even more eerie. When the 2 rank 8 universe supremacy mechas were destroyed by Wang Xian, the remaining experts of the Cursed Spirit Village fled in horror. 8 dragon doppelgangers, kill! Wang Xian bellowed. Dragon doppelgangers flew out from his body and attacked the group of universe supremacies. Oh no! The mechas sensed the energy behind them. They turned around and were horrified. Shit! With these mechas around, we can't escape back to our holy kingdom in an instant. The group of Cursed Spirit Village members were in despair as they saw the terrifying attack coming from behind them. Boom boom boom. Sounds of mechas exploding could be heard. Wang Xian squinted his eyes, locked on to the rank 8 Universe Supremacy Mecha, and continued his attack. No, people of the Cursed Spirit Village, run now. Run now. That Dragon King is too strong. You must avenge me in the future. Avenge me. The face of the Cursed Spirit Village member who was driving the rank 8 Universe Supremacy Mecha was flushed red when he saw Wang Xian chasing after him. He bellowed in indignation. Their Cursed Spirit Village was on the verge of rising and had even occupied the Blessed Land. Yet they had not expected to meet such a strong enemy. His eyes were bloodshot as he reminded the people in the center of the Blessed Land. The strength of the Dragon King was not something that the Cursed Spirit Village could handle. What? Damn it! That Dragon King could withstand our power of curse. Now, even the Deputy Chief and the rest are no match for him. An old man bellowed and ordered loudly. Chief, are we going to give up on this place? We've paid a huge price to occupy it. In the center of the Blessed Land, a group of people stood there with indignation. To the people of the Cursed Spirit Village, this was their holy land. In order to occupy this natural paradise, they had made a huge deal with the Iron and Steel Union and paid a huge price. If they gave up on this place now, all their efforts would be in vain. Leave immediately. If we don't give up this place, the Dragon King will kill us all. The chief of the Cursed Spirit Village roared with a stern face. As soon as he finished speaking, his figure began to flicker and slowly disappeared. Boom! At this moment, they heard an explosion outside. The powerful Rank 8 Venerable Mech had exploded. The third universe Venerable Rank 8 Mech was destroyed. At that moment, everyone in the Cursed Spirit Village turned illusory and disappeared. However, because they relied on their own curses, their Cosmos God country did not hide too much. Instead, it was directly located in their village. When they left, Wang Xian came to the center of the Blessed Land. He scanned the surroundings with a cold look in his eyes. Castles were built in the center of the entire Blessed Enclave. There was no longer anyone from the Cursed Spirit Village here. Boom! Wang Xian waved his arm and a gust of energy swept across, turning the castles they had built into ashes. He landed in the center of the Blessed Enclave and looked around. When he arrived at the center of the Blessed Land, the white energy was even stronger. Even if one's body was cut in half, one could probably recover instantly. To any race, this was an exceptionally strong Blessed Land. Thinking about it, if one were to be severely injured here, one could recover from an injury that had lasted for 10,000 years in just a few years. There shouldn't be just these. Wang Xian squinted his eyes and scanned the surroundings with his dragon eyes. At this moment his eyes fell on a spot. With a swift move, he flew over immediately. This is really strange. When he landed, Wang Xian sized up the few things in front of him. His eyes were filled with astonishment. In his line of sight, there were 10 tombstones that were glowing brightly. These tombstones were glowing with holy white light. When Wang Xian placed his hand on it, a message was transmitted to his mind. Resurrection Tablet. It's just as I predicted. There's something in this blessed land that can resurrect living beings. This is really heaven-defying. However, this resurrection shouldn't be unlimited. Wang Xian murmured to himself as he looked at the 10 sacred tablets in awe. These 10 sacred tablets represented 10 sacred spirits that could be resurrected. This was extremely important for a race. 10 powerhouses with the ability to resurrect were equivalent to 20 powerhouses. He just didn't know if their combat power would be weakened after resurrection or if they would have to pay a price. However, Wang Xian felt that the price might not be too high. It should be more powerful than the soul returning wood. Not bad, not bad. This is a great place to use as the Dragon Palace's blessed land. Moreover, the Dragon Palace doesn't need to fight at all for this landing battle. They can just move the Dragon Palace here. Wang Xian revealed a satisfied smile. The landing battle was a battle to fight for the blessed land. If the Dragon Palace could find a new blessed land without an owner, they naturally wouldn't need to challenge other races. The other forces in the chaotic continent would probably be thrilled when they heard this news. After all, they could also heave a sigh of relief if the Dragon Palace didn't challenge them. Swish, swish, swish. At this moment, 9 figures flew over to Wang Xian. Wang Xian turned around and looked at them. He lifted his head slightly and locked his eyes on them. Dragon King, please don't misunderstand. We're just here to check out the situation. Our two races will not compete with the Dragon Palace for the Blessed Land. The old man from the Light Clan quickly cupped his fists when he saw Wang Xian locking his eyes on them. This Blessed Land will be the territory of the Dragon Palace in the future. It will also be the place where we establish our race. Wang Xian said to them directly. Given your strength, this Blessed Land should belong to the Dragon Palace. The Light Clan and the 9 Candles Demon Tribe also congratulate the Dragon King. We hope that the 3 races can live in harmony. The experts from the Light Clan express their goodwill. Alright, the Dragon Palace is also willing to make friends. Wang Xian smiled and cupped his fists at them. In that case, we won't disturb the Dragon King any longer. When the Dragon Palace enters the chaotic continent, we'll invite the Dragon King to be our guest. The experts from the Light Clan cupped their fists and said, the 9 Candles Demon Tribe will soon open up the teleportation formation here. By then, the Dragon King can use our teleportation formation to travel. The 9 Candles Demon Tribe also expressed their goodwill. Wang Xian smiled and nodded his head. Chapter 33-34. Prepare for landing, Heavenly Formation, set up a formation here. Don't let anyone in. Baki Devil Fiend Black Dragon, guard this place with the Heavenly Formation. After the 9 experts from the Light Clan and the 9 Candles Demon Tribe left, Wang Xian summoned Enlai and the rest to guard the Grotto Heaven. It's Dragon King. The 4 of them immediately answered. Currently, in the Dragon Palace, other than him, the Sky Array 8-branch Demon Fiend and the only Black Dragon in the Dragon Palace had already broken through to the Universe 8th stage. Before the Dragon Palace was relocated, Wang Xian and the rest had to guard this place. Enlai, I'll mark a place for you. Go there and bring me there. Subsequently, Wang Xian sent the location of the Cursed Spirit Village to Enlai. He wanted to check out the situation at the Cursed Spirit Village to prevent the Cursed Spirit Villagers from making a comeback. Wang Xian dared to kill them, but he couldn't kill them with the 8 Altars Sky Formation. If they killed them, they would still be cursed. Therefore, Wang Xian was prepared to make a trip to the Cursed Spirit Village. It would be best if he could annihilate all of them. Enlai nodded and immediately took action. 20 minutes later, Enlai returned and brought him to the front of the Cursed Spirit Village. Wang Xian moved and came to the front of the Cursed Spirit Village in an instant. His dragon eyes swept across the village. Have they all run away? He raised his eyebrows. This Cursed Spirit Village was rather peaceful. There were mountains and rivers all around, just like a paradise. Wang Xian snorted. With a wave of his arm, a grayish energy swept across the entire mountain village. Buzz, buzz, buzz. After the energy passed, there was only silence. All the buildings had collapsed, and the entire Cursed Spirit Village had been reduced to ruins. He narrowed his eyes and flew around for a while, but he could not find any trace of the Cursed Spirit Village members. Dragon King. Damn Dragon King. At the same time, far away from the Cursed Spirit Village, the people of the Cursed Spirit Village were flying in the skies above the border of the primordial continent under the guidance of the mechas. At that moment, the elder leading the group suddenly stopped. He saw that the Cursed Spirit Village that had been detected by the technology had been destroyed. When he saw that the image on the screen had gone black, his face lit up with anger. Dragon King. In the surroundings, thousands of Cursed Spirit Village clansmen were breathing heavily, their eyes bloodshot. So. At this moment, battleships flew over from the front. Like a phantom, the warship quickly arrived before the Cursed Spirit Village. In the center, a 10,000-meter-long battleship stopped in the void, and a robot walked out. The android had the face of a middle-aged man. He stared at the people of the Cursed Spirit Village with a smile. Patriarch, have you thought it through? Join the Iron and Steel Union, and we will not treat you badly. The middle-aged android asked the chief of the Cursed Spirit Village. We can join the Iron and Steel Union, but we want that blessed land. When the chief of the Cursed Spirit Village heard his words, His expression changed drastically. 10 seconds later, he gritted his teeth and replied. Their cursed spirit village was very special. Without these mechas, they wouldn't even dare to walk around the great wilderness continent. Once they encountered a natural disaster, all of them would die. They could only find a safe place to take it. Joining the Iron and Steel Union was good for them, but at the same time, they had to pay a lot. Life was at stake, because the most useful thing to them was their lives. The Iron and Steel Union saw this point, which was why they were trying to recruit them. They didn't succeed last time. This time, the Cursed Spirit Village was in a desperate situation. Sure, but not now. The middle-aged robot wasn't too surprised by their conditions, so he agreed right away. How long do we have to wait? The chief of the Cursed Spirit Village asked with a bitter expression. It won't be long. Don't worry. The middle-aged android said with radiance flickering in his eyes. We'll only be willing to work for you if you help us occupy that blessed land. The chief of the Cursed Spirit Village said with a sullen expression. All right. The middle-aged android nodded with a smile. He extended his hand and made an inviting gesture. Welcome to the Iron and Steel Union. Swish, swish, swish. The people of the Cursed Spirit Village moved and flew in. The Cursed Spirit Village joining the Iron and Steel Union was of great strategic significance to the Iron and Steel Union. It was like having a member of the Cursed Spirit Village in a battleship, and the battleship would attack a powerful enemy. Once the enemy destroyed the battleship, what awaited them would be the power of the curse. The addition of the Cursed Spirit Village would greatly improve the Iron and Steel Union. The people of the Cursed Spirit Village entered the battleship and flew far away. Days passed. After leaving the Cursed Spirit Village, Wang Xian returned to the Dragon Palace. It had been quite some time since Wang Xian left the Dragon Palace. By now, the improvement in the Dragon Palace had basically ended. Currently, the total number of universe paragons in the Dragon Palace had reached 100,000. During this period of time, the number of disciples in the Dragon Palace had reached 1.8 million. Among these 1.8 million, the weakest had the combat power of a 7th-order God Emperor. It was especially so for the old members of the Dragon Palace. The weakest had the combat power of a 9th-order God Emperor. However, Aosia and the rest still needed some time to improve, at least a year or so. For the remaining time, Wang Xian stayed in the Dragon Palace. The sky array 8 branches and the rest were guarding the blessed land. No living beings dared to approach. The continental way starry sky had also fallen into a state of peace. Wang Xian and the group of girls were touring the various planets in the continental way's starry sky. Boom boom. A year passed quickly. On this day, a terrifying aura spread from a corner of the Dragon Palace. Haha, I, Aosia, have finally broken through. I've finally broken through. Following which, an excited voice could be heard. The group of leaders of the Dragon Palace heard this voice and immediately flew over. Aosia, you guys have finally broken through. Prime Minister Turtle flew over and swept his gaze across Aosia and the rest. The Dragon Palace of the Wind and Thunder Divine Dragon Race and the Dragon Palace of the Crimson Gold Battle Dragon had been completely devoured by Aosia and the other 3 devouring dragons. Currently, the 4 of them had the combat power of a 9th-order universe paragon. With such combat power, they were almost invincible even at the border of the chaotic continent. Congratulations! The group of leaders congratulated with smiles on their faces. Ah, brothers, leave the breakthrough to us, the devouring dragons. Aosia said loudly with a happy face. Currently, the bloodline of the devouring dragons was the strongest in the Dragon Palace. The 4 9th-order universe paragons were invincible. They were even stronger than the Dragon King. At the same time, Wang Xian returned to the Dragon Palace after receiving the news. He smiled when he sensed the strength of Aosia and the rest. Greetings, Dragon King. Aosia and the rest greeted Wang Xian respectfully when they saw him. Not bad, not bad. We're just waiting for you guys to break through. We can prepare to disembark. Wang Xian smiled. Chapter 33-35. Dragon Palace had been preparing for the landing battle for more than a year. Everything was waiting for Aosia and the rest to break through. Today, Aosia broke through and Dragon Palace could proceed with the landing battle directly. However, the landing battle of Dragon Palace might be different from the landing battles of other races. Prime Minister Turtle, let me announce that Dragon Palace will be landing in 5 days. We will not challenge any race. We have our own blessed land. Wang Xian ordered with a smile as he swept his gaze across the group of Dragon Palace leaders and purebred divine dragons in the Dragon King Palace. Currently, Dragon Palace had 4 rank 9 supremacies, 5 rank 8 supremacies, and 30 rank 7 supremacies. The group of Dragon Palace leaders, Golden Dragon, Water Divine Dragon, Fire Divine Dragon, Thunder Dragon, Wind Divine Dragon, Blue Otaku, and the rest had reached rank 7 supremacies. Now, Dragon Palace was strong enough. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle answered immediately. In less than 10 minutes, the news of Dragon Palace's landing spread throughout the entire land-surrounded starry sky and chaotic continent. Everyone could see how powerful the current Dragon Palace was. Every move of Dragon Palace could cause a huge stir in land-surrounded starry sky. Not to mention this landing battle. However, this announcement not only shook land-surrounded starry sky, but also the forces at the border of chaotic continent. The landing battle usually required one to challenge a force at the border of chaotic continent. Given Dragon Palace's strength, the landing battle caused those forces at the border to panic. However, when they saw Dragon Palace's announcement, they were excited and shocked at the same time. The Dragon Palace didn't challenge any forces in their landing battle. They have already occupied an ownerless grotto heaven. My God! Is this Dragon Palace? Is this the Invincible Dragon Palace? Isn't this landing battle too terrifying? Other forces have to challenge for the landing battle, but Dragon Palace has occupied a blessed land in advance. There is no need for them to challenge other races. Now that we've opened up the heavens, the forces at the edge of the chaotic continent can finally heave a sigh of relief. The Dragon Palace is about to land, and all of us were terrified. Who would have thought that the Dragon Palace would be so powerful and occupy a blessed land in advance? The strength of the Dragon Palace is too strong. It could be said that the Dragon Palace has created history. Before they even disembarked, they have already occupied a blessed place. At this time, everyone from the continents surrounding the starry sky and the desolate continent were discussing in shock. The Dragon Palace's landing battle this time was unprecedented. If a race wanted to establish itself in the great desolate continent, it needed to have its own paradise. Every race knew the importance of the blessed enclave. Otherwise, they would have no foothold and no place to stand. This would greatly affect the development of a race. Furthermore, there were a limited number of blessed lands at the edge of the great desolate continent. Basically, they were all occupied by various races. Even if they weren't occupied by other races, they would be occupied by powerful desolate beast races. Therefore, if one wanted to occupy a blessed grotto heaven, one would have to declare war on the blessed grotto heaven. However, the Dragon Palace had already occupied a blessed grotto heaven in advance. One could imagine how powerful they were. He had occupied a blessed land before he had even landed. It could be said that he had created history. Welcome to the Dragon Palace's landing in the great desolate continent. If you have time, the Dragon King and the guests of the Dragon Palace can visit the Light Clan. Welcome to the Dragon Palace's landing in the great desolate continent. We, the 9 Candles Demon Tribe, hope to develop friendly relations with the Dragon Palace and become good neighbors. While the experts and disciples of the forces at the edge of the great desolate continent were discussing, the congratulatory statements made everyone excited again. What the fuck, what's going on? The Light Clan and the 9 Candles Demon Tribe are welcoming the Dragon Palace's landing? It seems that the Dragon King has a good relationship with these 2 races. These 2 races are not weak at the edge of the great desolate continent. This is the reputation. The Dragon Palace has landed, and those powerful forces are welcoming them. That's amazing. Damn it, is this a landing? This is a real arrival. It's so domineering. Looking at the statements of the 2 races, countless people on the artificial intelligence system were discussing in amazement. Look, this is the Dragon Palace. It's so awesome. The statements of the Light Clan and the Nine Candles Demon Tribe seem to be the first. Then, led by the Deep Swamp race, some other races congratulated the Dragon Palace on their arrival in the Great Desolate Continent. In less than a day, more than 20 races had made their statements. The experts of the forces around the Great Desolate Continent could also see that they were trying to please the Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace was so powerful that these forces wanted to get familiar with it and not have any conflicts with it in the future. Looking at the statements of the races, all the forces around the Great Desolate Continent were envious. If one day they could reach the level of the Dragon Palace, they would die without regrets. Humph, Dragon Palace, Dragon King. While the artificial intelligence system was bustling because of the Dragon Palace, in the Lich City of the Lich Kingdom, the Lich King looked at the information on the artificial intelligence system with a furious expression. The more glorious the Dragon Palace was, the more furious he was. It could be said that the Dragon Palace had risen by stepping on the heads of the Lich Kingdom. The Lich Kingdom had also suffered heavy losses because of them. Do you think the landing battle will be so simple? The Lich King looked at the information on the artificial intelligence system with a cold expression and sneered. His eyes were filled with violent murderous intent. He did not expect that the Dragon Palace had not only offended them. Very soon, they would begin their revenge. General Jean, the Dragon Palace is preparing to land in the chaotic continent. This time, they will go directly to the blessed Grotto Heaven. Once they occupy that place, it will be difficult to chase them away given the defensive power of the Dragon Palace. Besides, once they occupy that place, they will definitely discover the Pond of Curse not far away. By then, it will also affect the plan of the cursed creatures. In another part of the chaotic continent, this was a realm full of science fiction. All kinds of mechas and chariots were flying in the sky. Below them were all dreamy buildings. This was the famous technological area of the chaotic continent, the Iron and Steel Union. In a castle under the technological area, the chief of the cursed spirit village stood in front of a middle-aged mecha expert and said with a sullen expression, "I know. That place will not be occupied by the Dragon Palace. Don't worry. The Iron and Steel Union understands the importance of the Pond of Curse." General Jean slowly browsed through some information on the artificial intelligence system and said plainly, Then what should we do? The chief of the cursed spirit village couldn't help but ask, "What do we need to do?" "Contact the Dragon Palace privately. If they don't know what's good for them, don't blame me for being rude." Chapter 33-36. The Pool of Curse was very important to the Iron and Steel Union. As for the other blessed enclave, the Iron and Steel Union did not attach much importance to it. Even the blessed enclave was exceptionally powerful. One of the main reasons why they hadn't fought over the blessed lands was because of the cursed spirit village. They wanted to gain complete control of the cursed spirit village. After more than a year of preparation, they had gained complete control over everyone in the cursed spirit village. Now, the Dragon Palace was about to embark on a land battle. They didn't care about the Dragon Palace's landing battle, but they couldn't allow the Dragon Palace to occupy the blessed Grotto Heaven. This would affect some of the plans of the Steel Union. As for Dragon Palace and the others, they naturally wouldn't force them to scram. They understood the strength of the Dragon Palace. The Lich Kingdom had already tested the Dragon Palace's defensive capabilities on them. Therefore, the Iron and Steel Union would inform the Dragon Palace in private. As the strongest force in the chaotic continent, they were already giving face to the Dragon Palace by doing this. The chief of the cursed spirit village frowned when he heard General Jin's words, but he didn't say anything. He didn't have much right to tell the Iron and Steel Union what to do. "Dragon King, we suddenly received a message from the Iron and Steel Union." An hour later, when all the members of the Dragon Palace were preparing to disembark, Prime Minister Turtle suddenly came to the Dragon King Palace and reported to Wang Xian with an awful look. A message from the Iron and Steel Union. Wang Xian was taken aback. When he saw Prime Minister Turtle's expression, he squinted his eyes and asked, "What message?" The Iron and Steel Union said that the Blessed Enclave is of great use to them and the Cursed Spirit Village. They don't care about the cursed spirit village, but the blessed enclave belongs to the Iron and Steel Union. They won't give it up and asked us to find another place. They want our dragon palace to give them a reply within an hour. Prime Minister Turtle said. If they want the blessed enclave, we'll give it to them? Chu Xian laughed. Tell them to scram. If they dare to have any ideas about the blessed paradises, we will fight them. It's Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle immediately replied. Also, at this moment, Wang Xian squinted his eyes. Inform Heaven Array and the rest to come back. We'll declare war on whoever dares to touch our things. Yes. Prime Minister Turtle squinted his eyes and said immediately. The present was different from the past. Back then, the Lich Kingdom had stolen the spoils of war from the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian could only resort to sneak attacks to make the Lich Kingdom lower their heads. But now, if anyone dared to touch the Dragon Palace's Grotto Heaven and Blessed Land, they would immediately start a war with them. With Ao Xie and the other 3 Level 9 Venerable Realm powerhouses, would the Dragon Palace be afraid of the Iron and Steel Union? So what if it was the strongest force at the edge of the Great Desolate Continent? Soon, they arrived at the technological field of the Iron and Steel Guild in the Primordial Continent. When the higher-ups of the Iron and Steel Union received the news from the Dragon Palace, their eyes turned cold. Make a statement directly that the blessed land occupied by the Dragon Palace belongs to the Iron and Steel Union. If they dare to come, then let the Dragon Palace have a land battle, humph. The supreme leader of the Iron and Steel Union issued an order, and the generals immediately responded. In less than 2 minutes, the statement about the Iron and Steel Union was directly released. The Iron and Steel Union was undoubtedly the most powerful force in the Great Desolate Continent. In the entire universe, it was one of the top technological forces. Their every move was watched by countless forces and experts. When they made this statement, all the forces were dumbfounded. What does the Iron and Steel Union mean? The blessed land occupied by the Dragon Palace belongs to the Iron and Steel Union? If the Dragon Palace dares to come, we will have a land battle with them? A war between the Dragon Palace and the Iron and Steel Union. SSS, it can't be. What's going on? What's going on? What feud does the Dragon Palace have with the Iron and Steel Union? The experts at the edge of the Great Desolate Continent widened their eyes and discussed in shock. The Iron and Steel Union made such a statement just after the Dragon Palace announced that they were going to land. Did this mean that they were going to start a war? The Iron and Steel Union was the strongest force on their side. The news quickly spread to the landlocked Starry Sky. When the landlocked Starry Sky heard the news, there was an uproar and they were equally shocked. The strongest force at the edge of the Great Desolate Continent actually issued such a warning to the Dragon Palace? What the hell was going on? Countless people focused their eyes on the Dragon Palace and the Iron and Steel Union and swallowed their saliva. It seemed that the landing battle of the Dragon Palace was not as simple as they thought. In the face of the strongest force in the Great Desolate Continent, the Dragon Palace was afraid. There were all kinds of discussions and astonishment. Haha, I really didn't expect that the Dragon Palace would provoke the Iron and Steel Union. At this moment in the main hall of the Lich Kingdom, the Lich King heard the news and roared excitedly. Not long ago, when he got the news from the Wrapped Corpse clan, he was already very shocked. The 2 clans had already made contact and were preparing for the next action. But he never expected that the Iron and Steel Union would also start a conflict with the Dragon Palace. This was simply God helping them. They knew the Iron and Steel Union better than other forces. They knew the horror of the Iron and Steel Union. It was no exaggeration to say that if the warship of the Iron and Steel Union came to the sky of the Lich Kingdom could only flee. They couldn't resist at all. Now that the Iron and Steel Union had a conflict with the Dragon Palace, plus the Lich Kingdom and the Wrapped Corpse clan, if they could join forces, he was confident that he could completely suppress and seal the Dragon Palace. Don't worry. The Dragon Palace may not dare to provoke the Iron and Steel Union. The Iron and Steel Union released such a statement. The Dragon Palace may retreat. In this case, they won't be able to fight. In the end, there will only be the Wrapped Corpse clan. Soon, The Lich King suppressed the excitement in his heart and murmured. Everything was not a foregone conclusion. They couldn't be happy so early. Huh. But at this time, he saw a message on the AI and his eyes lit up instantly. Haha, I didn't expect that the Dragon Palace would be so arrogant. Are you relying on the Dragon Palace? You're courting death. The Lich King laughed and said. He opened his dragon mouth and couldn't help but laugh. The Dragon Palace released another message on the universe AI. 5 days later, the landing battle. The landing battle. It was different from the previous announcement, where they were going to land. This time, they added the word battle, which also meant that if the Iron and Steel Union fought, the Dragon Palace would also fight. Chapter 33-37. The Battle to Land. Hiss, the Dragon Palace has responded. They have changed their statement. In the landing battle in 5 days, they are declaring war on the Iron and Steel Union. The Iron and Steel Union is so strong, but the Dragon Palace doesn't retreat. Is the Dragon Palace going to rely on the Dragon Palace's powerful defense? The Dragon Palace is still the same as before. However, they should be relying on the defense of the Dragon Palace. Otherwise, how could they fight against the #1 power of the desolate continent? The defense of the Dragon Palace is very strong. The Iron and Steel Union might not be able to break it. The Dragon Palace's response shocked everyone. They thought that the Dragon Palace would give up on the blessed Grotto Heaven, but they didn't expect that they would insist on the Iron and Steel Union. The forces at the edge of the great desolate continent were also shocked, and their eyes flickered. To be honest, they were not optimistic about the Dragon Palace. The strength of the Dragon Palace was not even comparable to the Lich Kingdom. How could it compete with the Iron and Steel Union? The power of the Iron and Steel Union was much stronger than that of the Lich Kingdom. Even if the Dragon King relied on the defense of the Dragon Palace to enter the chaotic continent, what would happen next? The surveillance system of the Iron and Steel Union could monitor the entire Dragon Palace. Once the members of the Dragon Palace came out, they would definitely suffer a huge blow. I originally thought that the Dragon Palace's arrival was a sign of arrival. I didn't expect it to be a challenge to the most powerful force. Some people sighed inwardly as their eyes flickered. At this time, at the edge of the chaotic continent, there were no forces that welcomed the Dragon Palace. Because they were afraid to offend the Iron and Steel Union. The entire edge of the primeval continent fell into a strange atmosphere. So. In the void in front of the Iron and Steel Union, 4 figures were flying toward the realm of science fiction. The Lich King, who possessed the head of the demonic dragon, and another powerhouse of the Lich Kingdom. On the other side, there were experts from the shrouded corpse race wrapped in corpse-wrapping cloth. As soon as they approached the front of the Iron and Steel Union, drones flew over and locked onto their identities. Target, please state your intentions. The robotic voice of the drone warned them. We are the leaders of the Lich Kingdom and the Wrapped Corpse Tribe. We wish to pay a visit to the leader of the Iron and Steel Union. We have something to discuss. The Lich King immediately said, Please wait a moment. Please follow me. Soon, under the guidance of the drone, the Lich King and the others entered the territory of the Iron and Steel Union. The futuristic buildings, weapons, and huge battleships docked in the void made their hearts palpitate. Kakaka. Soon, they flew in front of a sci-fi building. The building opened an entrance, and the Lich King and the shrouded corpse race experts entered. Inside was a large hall, and an old man sat on a steel throne at the front. Lich King, leader of the shrouded corpse tribe, why have you come here personally? The old man looked at them and asked plainly. Steel leader, you should have guessed that we are here for the Dragon Palace. The Lich King cupped his hands towards the patriarch of the Iron and Steel Union. Oh, does your Wrapped Corpse clan have a feud with the Dragon Palace? The leader of the Iron and Steel Union looked at the leader of the Shrouded Corpse tribe and asked in surprise. Our Wrapped Corpse tribe had 2 level 8 universe venerables killed by the Dragon King. This enmity, our Wrapped Corpse tribe naturally has to be avenged. The leader of the Wrapped Corpse tribe said, I want to hear your plans. If possible, the Iron and Steel Union will agree. The eyes of the leader of the Iron and Steel Union sparkled. The arrival of the Lich Kingdom and the Wrapped Corpse tribe was also beyond his expectations. The strength of these two tribes was second only to the Iron and Steel Union at the edge of Chaotic Continent. Both tribes had come at once. The Dragon Palace had offended so many powerful factions. Iron and Lingxiu, our plan is simple. The Dragon Palace is heading towards the Grotto Heaven Blessed Land that they are currently occupying. Along the way, we will find a good place to set up an ambush and suppress them there forever, never to let them out. The Lich King said directly. The Grotto Heaven Blessed Land that they are occupying belongs to us. The Iron and Steel Union has already sent people to take over. The leader of the Iron and Steel Union pondered for a few seconds as he said, "How strong is the defense of the Dragon Palace? I judge that unless one has the destructive power of a Universe Lord, it will be hard to break through the defense of the Dragon Palace. Sealing and suppressing it is the best way." The Lich King said solemnly, "If not for the strong defense of the Dragon Palace, our Lich Kingdom would have wiped them out long ago." Suppressing and sealing. The leader of the Iron and Steel Union nodded slightly. "That's not difficult. The Iron and Steel Union will plan this. Your two tribes can just send all the experts and disciples. No problem, right?" "Naturally, no problem." The Lich King and the leader of the Wrapped Corpse tribe smiled when they heard this. The Iron and Steel Union's plan was much more detailed than theirs. Their fighter jets and their artificial intelligence technology could find the best place and the best solution. By then, the Lich Kingdom and the Wrapped Corpse tribe would just have to send people to attack. "Within 3 days, we will pass the plan to you," the leader of the Iron and Steel Union said directly. The Lich King and the leader of the Wrapped Corpse tribe nodded and left. This time, the Dragon Palace will definitely die. The two of them were excited when they heard that they were flying to the sky. It's good to suppress the Dragon Palace, lest they take revenge in the future. Within the territory of the Iron and Steel Union, the leader of the Iron and Steel Union muttered to himself. He quickly checked the information on the Dragon Palace in his mind. He was slightly shocked by the speed of the rise of the Dragon Palace. Such a force should either be suppressed directly or not offended. Unfortunately, they had already offended them. Suppress them then. He closed his eyes slightly and a scene appeared in his mind. Battleships and spaceships had arrived above the Grotto Heaven Blessed Land. Within the Grotto Heaven Blessed Land, the formation was running. "Attack!" A mechanical voice rang out, and a series of terrifying attacks were launched towards the array. The formation began to collapse gradually. The unmanned fighter jets scanned the surroundings and slowly landed in the Grotto Heaven Blessed Land. The members of the Cursed Spirit Village came to the Grotto Heaven Blessed Land excitedly. At the same time, in the Pond of Curse not far away from the Grotto Heaven Blessed Land, millions of clones stood in front of the cursed person. One by one, they jumped into the Pond of Curse, letting out painful screams. Their chances of survival were 1 in 10,000. Now that the technological development of the Iron and Steel Union had reached a critical point, they could only think of other ways to improve. Creating some cursed people was a relatively simple way at the moment. Peaked at your tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.